on 1,500 times. And so for someone to stream it that much, you have to have a need for the repetition. So when people are practicing the stream, right, or practicing the challenge, they're practicing, they might practice 100 times just to get it right. So that means that they're playing it 100 times just to learn the dance. Then they have to record it. So now they're playing it another 100 times. And then every time they're playing the video, the song is streaming. So that is the economy of the social media music marketplace. And a lot of people missed it. And once Drake did it, then you got the This Is Texas from Beyonce, and the oh, Beyonce has like 15 of them now, and then Nicki Minaj had like 1,000 of them, and if you're not able to do that, if you don't have good quotables, if you don't have a good transformation challenge song that gives a girl a good amount of attitude that she could do before and after, and she feel like that chicken, if you don't know how to do that, you're not going to make any money. And people don't know how to teach that anymore. They don't know, because it's new, but they don't know how to teach. They don't know how to adapt and teach the thing to adapt. It is. Hmm. Right. All the change. I'm always open to change because change equals to dollars. Okay. Absolutely. I understand that. I completely get that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Right, because everything's now the same way that Love and Hip Hop is. The media really runs like that. Like if you don't have a storyline and it's something that's going on that keeps you relevant, then you're not getting the check. So I get that. For you. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Oh, but I don't well, I mean, Pebbles, I think, has a type a little bit. He likes the women that's, they like girls that are kind of tough. I think that's just his type. He don't want the flowery girl. I think he has a particular type, and that's it. Like, I right. But I think he likes that. I think that's his type. Don't do that. Fair, fair. I think he likes that. I think Papoose likes that. He seems like such a controlled personality that I think that that's his type. A woman that he can bring what in whichever way a softness to, or like bring a softness out of. I think that that might be his type. Like that might be if you're already a soft girl, he don't. That's not for you. That's not for him. Like you don't want that, but I think he likes that. And so, of course, whomever he would date after would be comparable to her. And I think this is one of those downsides of having a public relationship, because if they hadn't been dating together, like if they hadn't been dating and had it in such a public way, they both could have moved on and nobody would have cared. But they're always going to be entangled together no matter what. It kind of sucks, but I guess in their case, if they are doing this for publicity, then they always have something they can go back to kind of stir up some of the drama to stay in the public eye. Right. Oh Lord. Right. Like, how did you do this? Come on, give us the secret. Give us the sauce. Right. Never. That's never. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. And they just come from two different places completely. Like there's no way. I don't think that they. Mm-mm. I don't know, but I feel like I would have heard if she was. But like, it's like it's this is I've lived in the Bronx. Like I've lived in like rough parts of the Bronx, and it's rough out there. It's like every day I had to fight. Like that is what the Bronx is. Flint. I think he was probably watching the fight or something and saw like, oh, who's she? And then, probably went into a fight and to, try to talk to her or something, or maybe an event. It's different places, but I'm sure they knew who each other. And also, there's a whole industry for this. Like, you can have a publicist hook you up with somebody, and your publicist will do more work than your agent does. So, if you connected like that, like, yo, I'm looking, looking for somebody to kind of like mix it up with, get seen with. This is standard practice. So that might have been what that was. It could have been a hookup. Yes, ma'am. Right. Oh, it's Clarissa. Well, I have that's when you're in that relationship and you start eating a lot, and you get that weight, a little bit of that love weight, or that, the what is it? The infatuation weight, when you just into somebody, or at least spend a lot of time with someone, you go out all the time, everything's great, you're not stressed yet. Yeah, I feel like, that's probably what that is. Distraction. Well, go ahead, I'm sorry. I think it's diversify it, but always make sure you're leveling up. That's the problem. A lot of people, when they try to get into like the celebrity game, like with what's it, the football player's name? I think it's Travis Kelsey. Is his name? Maybe. I know his last name is Kelsey, but I think it's Travis Kelsey. When he started dating Taylor Swift, and everyone got sick of the fact that they would see Taylor Swift always at the games and at the Super Bowl, and everyone was more concerned about the fact that they were dating rather than the game. And then this last Super Bowl they lost, and they didn't really. during the game, they really didn't show her much or didn't talk about their relationship much. And it's just like, yeah, because you still have to be a player. You still have a sport that you're doing. People People care about you off the field because of what you do on the field. People care about her outside of the ring because of what she does in the, like, you can't forget about your primary space, what's really getting you your money. Everyone's going to give you the additional money, advertising dollars, endorsement dollars, speaking engagements, all this other brand deals. All that stuff comes, but it is hinged on the fact that you are dominating in that space. You're right. So like music, if you're not dominating in music, then a lot of these other deals aren't going to come to you. If some people just want to dominate in the celebrity space, everyone kind of wants to be relevant for staying relevant, and there are very few people who know how to do that. Hmm. Hmm. Mhm. I thought it was a pew pew charge because she shot her. I mean, this is different. It's different. It's different if you did it with your hands rather than a pew pew. That's a different situation. If you were incarcerated for putting your hands on someone to the extent and you had to do all of those years for how badly you beat them, that is different than getting shot because but all it took is one and one little squeeze. That's all it was. Didn't even take that much force. It took you just the worst part was the recoil, right? But if you went to jail for beating someone out of the recognition, like people didn't even that's different. If you did that many years, what it's like 10 years. If you did 10 years for beating somebody up, like that's different than a pew pew charge. That that's a different that I wouldn't assume that someone is going to be able to take on a trained boxer because they went to jail for pewing somebody. But if you went to jail for beating the brakes off someone, then yeah, you gotta. I think that's fair. I think that weight class situations and height differences and reach and everything else given. I think that if she went to jail for that, then that's different. Right. That is all. That is rough. He better not have a child with what's her name because that's problems, especially if they gang up on him. What? Better never miss a child payment. What? Wait, somebody said Remy just got beat up by who? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think he has a tie. That's his thing. I think that he likes women that come across as intimidating women to other people. And the fact that he's so calm and collected, like it's just like okay, that reaffirms his manhood because these women are considered like okay, she gonna pull a trigger on you. I don't know. Let's talk about this for a second. And if she gets paid to get hit in the face and hit other people in the face, I don't know. Maybe. Oh. Right, so that he can take out. Oh. Right. Date night. Fresh from date night. Yeah, I don't think I know the story of how they broke up anyway. That's interesting. That's what I thought. I thought, but then she was saying that there were some people who were saying that she was like dropping clues and hints about the fact that, it was him this entire time and like it was him that was like toxic and narcissistic and all kinds of stuff, but I haven't been paying attention, so, you know, Lord. No, it's Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla Ali. Oh, really? Yeah, they stick phones in there. I have a couple of friends that are in a couple friends in Fed, and they sneak phones in there all the time. Yeah. What? I missed this part. She signed his label? Yeah, I know he has a so you said Clarissa is signed to his label? Ah. Yeah. Leave her alone so long. She don't need a bus down to go to the rain. I know it's good for her to be able to be feminine while dominating what is considered a male dominated sport. I think she gets to be all the versions of girl and woman. I think it's amazing for her to do that. But you ain't gotta make fun of her. Maybe it's better to fight with. He was like, "Don't be coming to bed with the Meat Mills." That's not right. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm an actor. I started in music and then I transitioned into acting. And so I do I haven't worked in like a year and a half. I took some time away. Still kind of figuring out like what else is there to do in this world. But yeah, I'm a working actor. Um, so I've produced. Oh, thank you. I'll send you the link. So I was in a film. Which one did you see? That. Thank you. You guys are so supportive. I love your live. Oh my goodness. Um, I so the most recent film that I did that I think Maya would have been on Tubi was a film named Nico, and then there was another called Burden of Nine Lives. I produced one and was in that one. Nico I they're both on like Fios, they're on Prime, also on Tubi. Um, then there's another film that was on Peacock called When Girls Ride, and that's now on Tubi as well. Um, there's a bunch of like I've been around, I've been working. That's what I'm saying. Industry, there's a lot of politics behind the veil. So that's why I was like, I don't know. That's when we were talking about like it seemed like a setup. I'm like, I can't fight you on that because your publicist or your agent can link you with somebody and it just makes business sense and then personal sense. So, but yeah, I've been working. I appreciate you guys for that. Ah! I actually took a break. I took a break from just filming and producing for a while just because I don't know. It's just you get to a point where it's just like, do you do the things that you enjoy doing because you love them or because other people say you're good at them? You have to sometimes just stop and be like, do I love doing this or do people give me validation for doing this? So I keep doing it. And like I deconstructed a lot of things for myself and producing's a lot of work. Like it's a lot of work. It doesn't matter who broke it. It's your job to fix it. Investors looking at you like, yeah, so how much is this gonna cost? um and I was like the last thing that I really did that I was really proud of, Burden of Nine Lives. We shot that in the Bronx. That's why I was like, I'm from New York. We shot it in New York and we had a sold out premiere. So essentially, usually you don't charge for premieres, but we did the project with. What I loved about doing that project was that we had people that ran the spectrum of experience. Like we had people who've never worked on camera before, people who, it was mainly minority, so it was all black, brown, Hispanic people as far as cast and crew. I think we had maybe two whitey people on the whole thing, not intentionally, but like we just wanted to create opportunity in an urban space and diversity, like genuinely. And when we did the premiere, it was a full building. It was like 300 people in Midtown on 59th Street between like Lex and Park, which is like one of the most expensive parts of New York City. And this really fancy theater with all these amazing, people that came through to our premiere. I'm not on TikTok that much. I'm on Instagram more. I'm trying to be on TikTok more, but that actually released in November to
Okay.
yeah, so that came out, so that was the premiere happened I think 23, and then it came out on like Fios and all these other outlets in 24. So I just been taking a break from working on that type of stuff, just I don't know, be grounded back into like just artistry and what do I want to do. That's what it is. And I like people, so I get on panels sometimes. I talk to people, and I'm like, "Hey guys, get some opinions, real life stories, and just engage with people." And I think that's what a lot of people who work in that industry make so much money off of presenting themselves as a person. They don't know how to talk to people anymore, and that's how they lose touch with their fans. They lose touch with just people. They just lose touch with the world. Like that's what it is. Mhm. Mhm. Let's see. Who did I meet that I was like, "Oh my gosh." Um, my brain. Across the board, ever. So like my dad worked in music before I worked in music, and he was in radio, and he worked at WLIB, which is a New York station in New York that was like the sister station to WBLS. And I remember I was a kid, and I used to listen to radio I love radio. And I listened to radio, and I remember my dad was on WLIB during the same time slot that Wendy Williams was on WBLS. And they used to share like this little break rooms, like one side was LIB, the other side was BLS. And I remember I walked where her booth was, like the space, because they have like the whole glass in the station. And I just saw back in the day, she used to have this high power ponytail. She had this high blonde ponytail, and she's talking her mess on live, and you can see the big, like, you can see that she's on, and she shoots me this look like, whose baby is this? Whose child is this walking through? And I wasn't that young. Like I was old enough to know better, but she shot me this look, and but she kind of gave me this like little soft side eye, like I respect it. Like I respect you taking that chance and that opportunity. So I think because of the way people perceive her, um, I think that was one of those really big moments for me where I really saw behind the scenes of like, okay, a lot of people who are in the public eye aren't who we think they are. She was just like she gave me, like, she shot me the mom look, like you're not supposed to be over here, but like she didn't like grab anybody or point to anybody to come and escort me out of the space. Like she probably thought, you probably figured it was somebody's child, but like she just kind of like gave me that. It was such a warm look, like if I was your age I would do it too. And I was just like, and I thought I've always kept that with me my entire life. um because it was just one of those things that she could have been a jerk. So no one will ever say. I mean, granted, Wendy has her flaws, but there will be no Wendy besmirching in my presence. You can never speak bad about Wendy to me ever. I don't care what she said about who, because as a kid, she let me be in wonder of another person without ruining that. They say never meet your heroes, and not to say she was a hero at that time, but like there's that moment where it could have been ruined for me. You know what I'm saying? Like she could have ruined that for me, and it was important for me at that age to see other black women in these positions, but also be nice and kind and soft when they wanted to, and be stern and hard when they wanted to. And that has always impacted me, like to this day. I'm a little emotional because I'm like, that she was cool for that. But I'm just trying to think. There's a bunch of other people that I met that I'm like, after you worked around them for, you're like, yeah, like you don't, I don't, and it's not even people that I've worked with per se, but like, you know, it's you see people at different stages of where they've been, and you just kind of go, oh, okay, like, you know, I remember a friend of mine, he's worked in music for a long time. He knew Designer before Designer was Designer, before Young M.A, these all these rappers that are now like, not really working as much, but at the time they were like really, they were really big, and you just see the transformation of them and you're like, wow, like I knew that I knew you had something, but like how are you gonna mainstream it? Yeah. I I watched like the early renditions of Baddies, but there's just so much to keep up with. I'm just like I don't even get enough time to watch as much television as I would like to. Um, I think that I feel like Zeus. They were a genius. They were so brilliant for what they did because they saw the gap in that market. They saw the gap in that Love and Hip Hop, Real World, all these shows. What was the one that New York was on? Tiffany. Oh my gosh, the one with Flavor Love. Like the beginning of all of these shows had fights. They always had fights, and because of the broadcast rules, they put the kibosh on it. They were like, you can't have that. But because Zeus is a streaming platform, absolutely you can do it within reason. And so just they just leaned in to the censoring. Like they basically made their coin off of everything that was being censored. And I'm like, that's brilliant. That's great TV. But like, um, I don't know, who would I want to work with? That I just don't know. There's so many people that they're just right. Like there's just so many different spaces that's such a hard question. Right. Right. Cause I feel like I just barely made it. Like I'm not quite out of the underground yet. Like there's distribution and like I'm working towards it, and like the I didn't get it. I made it. I just didn't take my coat off yet. I appreciate that. I need to be more aware of like how I talk about that, because there are people that like that are working their butt off, and the industry every day is just getting harder and harder and harder, and that's on all levels. That's on indie. or mainstream, big sets. Like it's just getting more and more trying. And I have a lot of friends that are working on like Hulu and like Netflix, and I'm like, I just got my little Peacock credit. I'm happy. Let me just celebrate my wins and just keep it pushing. But it a win is a win, right? A win is a win, especially when you're taking losses. That you just keep that win to win. Well, the next time I'm doing it, I mean, I think I probably won't jump into a project until maybe late this year, next year. But the next time I do, you just send me your information, and because depending on where you are, that it really could be that simple. Like there was one of the guys that was in Burden. He just happened to be friends with one of the actors, and we needed somebody that day because someone was like, "Oh, we needed someone to replace him." We didn't want to go through a casting process and call, no, we're not doing that. And so, like, I need replacement today. And so, one of the actors had a friend, and we're just like, "Okay, let's go." And I'm not Burden, in existence, sorry, which is another movie that I produced. But like, we were like, okay, we need people, and that's one of the things that happen. Like sometimes your acting community or the community that you have in whatever craft you're working in, having good relationships are important because sometimes what if you're working on one thing and, oh, we need an extra person for this, and you can call your friend and put them on. Or a musician, oh, they have another spot for this residency at this place that you're at, this venue, you could plug your friend. That's why a lot of people take those fallouts so personally, like the whole thing with like Remy and Nicki, and a lot of the other artists. When they have these fallouts, it's because a lot of the dependency of coming up was that you were in a community of people that were working together to get established. So that's important. That I love all my actor friends, and all of them are amazing. Like I've got some. If I could run down the list of the actor, and they are just they they're just so talented. Like just watching them, it's that's the reason why I don't feel like, oh, I've done so much. I don't feel that way because I look at the people I'm around and I'm like, yo, like I have a friend that's on Broadway right now. Like he's doing his thing, and I'm like, he was on Hulu, he was on him, and he was in Wu-Tang. I remember I have a couple friends that were in was it the spinoff from Power? um there's and they were just amazing actors, like amazing talent, and they're working and they're playing the politics, and they're doing, a lot of people don't realize how much marketing, like you have to do your own marketing for a lot of these things. Like you think it's hard now to do social media. People have been acting, have had to do that this entire time. Or you need to do your headshots every year or every couple of years. You need to send it out. You need to, make sure you stay in contact with casting directors. You need to, go to classes all the time, because sometimes it's about who's training you, not just who you know, but who knows you and who knows the people who trained you. Like there's just so much money involved in just getting the who like an owl. Mhm. Mhm. And do they trust you? I love, oh, there was a series I was on too that I loved. Oh my goodness. It was one of those. Oh my goodness, what's the name of the series? I haven't watched it in a while. It was where a lot of, so when you watch it, I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna send it to you. Um, a lot of black actors that were in Atlanta have their start on this series, and like I watched it a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, Oh, that's so and so. That's so and so. Wait a minute, that's so and so. Oh my gosh, and it's juicy too. Like it's oh, what is in it? Oh, damn it! We had to go teacup to go and find it because it was a series, and it's like sexy, and like there's all these actors that were in it. Um, yeah, I'm trying to teacup to find the series I'm talking about, but yes, I can hear you. Yes. I found the name of it. It was called Toi, like Menage a Trois, but they had a whole series and it came out in 2000. And they do you remember Players Club? The girl who played Ronnie in Players Club, she was in that, and they had like a whole series of it. There's like four of them or something like that, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is kind of good. This is the rainy day. I'm not going anywhere. Don't call me if I have plans to go out. I'm not going anyway." Like that was how I spent my whole evening, and I loved it. And I was so excited to see a lot of that, just a lot of people in it. There's a bunch of just like a bunch of different projects that are on there that have a great outlet. But yes, but I did see a little bit of balls. I didn't really invest in ballers as much, but I hear that I should have. Why? Oh, P Valley. Oh my goodness. There's so much. Well, you know what? I feel like people underestimate the amount of what you can make off of like Tubi or what the streaming, but the numbers I think are really important. Like if people really are invested in Tubi and watch it, then you'll get like better distribution and better contracts. But like if you guys would all say like, hey, yo, P Valley is it. I know people who would sell their left kidney to go and watch some P Valley. Canceling dates. Mm, right, right. To Zeus. But there's so many platforms to choose from that the numbers are harder to do. It's not concentrated. So if you spread across too many places, now you're gonna have to get numbers from here, there, and everywhere, and everyone's attention is scattered. It's not like before where there was only like what a big five networks that were on regular broadcast channels. Like then you got cable, and then after cable, then you had box distribution, Roku, and mm-hmm. Do you know why they what the issue with P Valley was? Did they make it public why? Oh, right. Yeah. Where would you think it would place well? Like where would you think that it would be the best platform for it to go? Fair. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Better platforms. Absolutely. Right. You said Nia Long and Lucius and Empire? Huh? The best man? The best man. Yeah. I was like, wait, so it was like the football. When you said the white, I was like, oh yeah, yeah. I understand that. I understand that because there is space in the demographic on Peacock, and they don't have enough content in that space. I think, to be honest, the project that I was on that did get picked up, I think is because they were looking to fill a part of that. Again, there's a lot of backroom deals and a lot of things that I don't know and that I'm not privy to, like because I'm not there yet, but um but I did hear and find out that there was a lot of um sometimes one company will look to acquire something else to get the licensing, that they have, and it's just like, okay, if that deal falls through, then they'll just diversify what they're letting in through their space. If I remember correctly, Peacock is now looking to make sure that they are way more diverse in the type of programming that they offer, because I think they were trying to acquire um, one of the smaller streaming platforms and the catalog of license that they have. Don't quote me, but I think that's what happened. And so they were like, "Oh, this deal didn't go through, so let's just go direct to the people who are creating the content themselves and just get more Black content." So they should pitch that. I think they should have pitched it though before it stopped, like when their numbers were still coming in. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, before they stopped. Yeah. Because now, yeah, you should have had them. Yeah, yeah. While the iron is hot, I think if they would have, because Stars is so interesting because Stars did not start off in the drama space in the same way. Like Stars has always been like a movie channel, and like they've always done like certain types of content. But when 50 did the whole Power series with them, it kind of revitalized a lot for Stars. Um, but also I think that even if the concern was broadening the appeal of the show to be on the, all you have to do is just add one additional writer to your team and then kind of rework the script to say, hey, and this is just being realistic, like, hey, this is the demographic that we captured on Stars. This is the demographic that Stars has by themselves, and this is how we contributed to those numbers, and this is the demographic that you have, Peacock, or you have BET, and when you have that, this is what we can contribute to your numbers and how we can actually spread a little bit the scope of what our show covers to be under the demographic that you guys target, as well as bring our previous audience to your platform now. So like where they overlap, like that's how that should go. But it's a big game. Like you have to have the right contact, you have to strike the right timing. Especially you better pray that they don't have anything in development that was already a direct competition to your show, because they're like, well, why would we acquire you guys when we just spent $500,000 to put our own version of this in on the ground. So there's a lot that goes into that, but they should have definitely reached out. If not, like a TV one, I mean maybe TV one, I don't know, like TV one, um, and I think I think this the quality of the show was high enough for Peacock, for even for Hulu. Like I think if they would have gotten even just one or like name or something addition, or like guest starring roles that they would rotate and get, I think that they could have really moved it further than letting it fall. Mm-hmm. Oh, so they filmed the season, they just haven't released it. Oh no, oh no. Mm. And there's no cast issues, like contract issues that you heard of or nothing? Hmm. Right. They just get the funding back, and especially if you filled a certain, again, that's why I said they had to talk to the demographic and the audience, especially if you were able to fill and compete in a certain time slot that that network or platform didn't have, and not even like time slot, because streaming platforms don't have time slots the way traditional broadcasting does, but genre, a lot of that's where they compete. So they compete in streaming numbers for genres, like a certain type of show that's on Hulu might be compared to a certain type of show that's on Netflix, and what are the streaming numbers in comparison. If it's the only show of its type outside of a niche platform, and you have numbers for the demographic and the communities that support that your show, then you need to bring it back, get your funding up, and push. And if it's just posts, like I can't imagine a whole show getting held up for years just on posts. Like, I mean, but it happens in movies all the time, so that sucks. I'm sorry. Okay. Jadakiss. Oh, I kind of like Puma. Puma's fun. I like Puma. I like Puma. Yeah, I like Puma. Nas. Anything. No. Anything. Nelly. Yeah, Nelly. I like Nelly. You triggered a whole part of my youth just now, because I remember I was in the club, I was outside when all of that beef was happening with Kanye and 50 had their little drama over, and that was like record label, and then 50 was doing his bullying with Rick Ross. I remember those days. I love 50. I think he is so funny. I think 50 is hilarious. I like how crazy Kanye is though. I do like how crazy Kanye is, but I'm a 50 fan when it comes to like all of the shenanigans, and I like how he thinks as far as the work. Like he's very diverse. I like 50. I got 50. Yeah. He's got the Midas touch. Like I don't even know how many projects he's done, but whatever he puts his mind to, like he really, I'm old enough to remember the vitamin water stuff. And I was like, yeah, from then we should have known he is. I, I know. Oh, what was the movie he did that was like the main network? Like I think it was like NBC. He had a show on NBC. Yeah, if I'm For Life. I think it's called For Life. Show that he produced, I think that was on I think it was on NBC. I think that. Yeah, 50.